So we're going to talk about the basics of cell signaling, which is a really important topic. It's how one cell can communicate with another. So we have these circles here that represent some cells. This is signaling. This is going to be a signaling cell, let's call it. This is going to be the cell that's going to be releasing the signal. And then we can call this the target cell that's going to be receiving the signal. So a signaling cell is going to be releasing a signal, and we can call this we're just going to make it a circle for now as a cartoon, and we're going to call that a signaling molecule. Now, a signaling molecule can be a number of different things. For example, it could be a peptide. It could be a modified amino acid, like tyrosine or tryptophan, for example. It could be a class of molecules called eicosanoids, which are derived from fatty acids. So these are all examples of signaling molecules that can bind to a receptor that is on the surface. So we would call this a cell surface receptor. And there are different kinds of cell surface receptors. Because they're binding to the ligand on the outside of the cell, we can refer to these as extracellular receptors. We also have signaling molecules that can go and get into the cell. These would be examples like steroid hormones that are derived from cholesterol, and also thyroid hormones. So these signaling molecules, they have the capability of binding to receptors that are located on the inside of the cell. So we call these intracellular receptors. And actually, depending on what kind of receptor it is, it may be located in the cytosol, or and then it goes into the nucleus, or it could already be in the nucleus. But in either case, the receptor is on the inside of the cell. And so these signaling molecules here then would go into the cell and activate their receptor on the inside. So we have extracellular activation of the cell surface receptor, or activation of the intracellular receptor. And in any case, the response of the cell is going to be either a release of another signaling molecule. It could be some kind of change within the cell metabolically or some other process, or it could be a genomic effect affecting gene transcription. So the change that's going to occur is going to be due to the signaling molecule binding to its receptor, depending on if it's on the outside or the inside. And I'll also point out one other important thing, and that is any given cell can have a host of different cell surface receptors for different signaling molecules. At the same time, it also can have intracellular receptors of a variety of types as well. So just because in our picture, it looks like a particular cell is limited in terms of what kinds of receptors it's going to have, it may have a variety of different kinds. That means that it can respond to a variety of different signals.